Hello, everybody. This is a grumpy old guy gaming. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Going to go ahead and load up more Wizardry, Tale of the Forsaken Land, because it's Sunday. Almost forgot it was Sunday, and I was actually scratching my head this morning thinking about what I should play. Back in the Labyrinth of Duhan, and today I kind of want to focus on the quests. We've got a quest from Gustav to recover our party's shield. Said, lost my party's shield because of my mistake, and fate has not allowed me a chance to turn the tables. Also have one from Palo saying, I want to sleep soundly. Says, someone disrupts my sleep. Will you find that someone? He's somewhere in the labyrinth, and he looks just like me. Both of these quests are going to give us 11,000 experience, plus whatever we pick up along the way. We have an open spot as well. So let's go ahead to the Luna Light, the bar in town, and pick ourselves out another quest. As you can see, the crowd in here is slowly starting to thin out. Every time we complete everyone's quests entirely, their presence sort of leaves the bar, and you could see there were a group of people hanging out on the left side of the screen there that are not around anymore. Of course, we see Garcia right in the center of the picture there. We've met just about everybody left in here. There's still a couple outliers. Let's take a look at the old quest list, see what we've got new. Still have a blank entry on that second page. Isn't that something? Blank entry on the third. Gotta go the entire way to the fifth page out of 6 to get a new quest, and then we've got 3 on the 6th page too. Go ahead, check out this quest from Paul. Says, I want to do the right thing. Well, that's what we want to do too. Says, will you throw this stone into the drinking fountain? It's really effective because it's a sage stone. I'm sure everybody will be happy. Yeah, let's accept the request. Man comes up and says, yo, are you the one? Middle-aged man with a beer belly approached you. Yeah, that would be Paul. Sorry, it's a funny quest. His name was Paul Gadwin. He was a gambler. He was just playing poker with the men in the corner of the tavern. Goes, I never helped anyone in my life. Well, I won't die from that, and it ain't bothering me either, but, you know, I'm kinda getting a bit lonely. Grandma used to tell me the happiness of others is your happiness. It's only been recently that I've begun to understand what that means. He goes on to say, but it's really only a gut feeling. Half of my life's already gone anyway. I didn't want to do what she said when she died, but I want to do something good at least once before I die. So this is the treasure I bought with all my savings. He took out a stone that constantly changed colors. It was the sage's stone. He goes, I hear there's a spring somewhere in the labyrinth. Throw this in there. Should alter the water so it could heal anything. That's all I want you to do. That seems easy enough. In fact, we've run into a room several times with a spring in the 5th floor. That's where the waterfall trickles down. So let's head into the labyrinth. I think we can knock that one out first. I guess the first thing we're going to have to knock out is 4 orcs and a harpy, unless they're friendly. Just going to go ahead, rush right through. 46 quality damage, and if I'm not mistaken, that should just about level Sarah up. Nope, 244, but we're not far off. At the end of the stream, we were about 4,000 experience off, and then I had accidentally completed yet another quest. Do a little sidestepping there. Let's open this chest. Maybe it's a transfer potion. It's a pair of long swords. Okay. Come to think of it, we should... Yeah, we've got a transfer potion right there on Keo. Go ahead and hand these long swords both over to Agog, and we'll do a little bit of the appraising station here. I don't expect anything fancy out of these. Yeah, just a long sword out of the first. No reason to believe the second would be any different, and it's not. So we'll just go ahead and hand these over to Sarah. As we're going to do a bit of the old milling about in the labyrinth here. Not really a progress forward day as far as the main story or, delving deeper into the labyrinth. But we are going to check some things out that we've been skipping. For instance, here's Helga's room. We haven't been there for a while. So let's check out her new writings in the diary. Door guarded by 5 very angry slimes. And by angry, I mean already dead. It's going to be about 80 more experience. 50. I forget what the experience totals are. Can you tell? Walk into Helga's room. Oh yeah, that's right, the auction. Walk in, and right away somebody's shouting out 100 gold. Make that 300. Auction sounds pretty good. Voice shouts, 1,000 gold. What the? 1,500. The men were shouting their bids across the room with powerful voices. They were in the midst of an auction celebrating the grand opening of Helga Mart. Helga says, "Oh, welcome. You came just at the right time." Yeah, it seems about our timing. She goes, "Right over here." And we are ushered in center stage right against the back wall there. We are led forcibly by the arm through the crowd of people. You were standing in front of the crowd by the time you realized it. There they are. Whole group of people, including that old dude who told us to go get a real job. Helga goes, "Everybody, stop." She goes, "We have a special guest for you tonight. He's adjusted his schedule just to be here." That's exactly what I did. He is the legendary adventurer who first used the hound sword in space. In space. No one can tell this is bull. She goes, "Allow me to introduce Agog, a bishop who can't use a sword." The warrior, this is the guy who made up his own theme song outside in town. He goes, "Hey, I'm glad we can meet again." The samurai goes, "I've been looking for a distinguished adventurer like yourself. Good thing we wore our formal attire, huh?" The sorcerer who scolded us way back about 20 uploads ago goes, "Won't you be so kind enough to trade with me for my staff?" Then a boy says, "I'll be winning the damn auction for your friggin' sword." I like that kid. "Would you sign it for me afterwards, dude?" He's just gonna sell it on eBay. Warrior says, "What the? Don't you dare talk to Agog like that." Man, they're really kind of fawning over me for no reason, aren't they? The boy goes, "Shut up, your old ass just needs to stay out of this." Again, I'm with the boy on this. They're fighting over a garbage sword. No matter how good of a sword an old geezer warrior like you used, it would make not a difference. Sorcerer goes, Now, young one, I don't think you should insult your elders." Goes, "Shut your mouth. Your older ass needs to stay even further back." Man, early 2000s, what a time. Samurai speaks up and goes, kids these days are just ignorant. I know, back in his day they had manners, right? Boy says, hey, you sword-swinging monkey, what the heck did you just say? See, now I'm adding extra profanity in. Says, I said, kids these days are ignorant. Am I mistaken? Boy goes, what? You a-hole, are you trying to start something? Helga says, hey, hold it. Don't you dare fight in my store. Helga, the person who once gave us second-degree burns by casting fire at a rock a bunch of times, is suddenly the referee. Samurai says, this is between me and the punk. You don't need to butt into this. Warrior says, yeah, if you're going to whoop this punk's ass, let me join you. Sorcerer says, me too, so we've got another party forming just to beat up this poor kid for being a dumb kid. The boy says, why don't you just try? All of you. Bring it. Helga says, stop it. She's had enough. And then the boy tells her to shut up. Several hours later, fight broke out in the room and the guests were out of control. The fight wound up outside. Helga tried to stop the fight, but in the process she got badly hurt. See, things got way out of control there. Yikes. Helga goes, ow. Why do I have to end up getting hurt? I'm not going to forgive those guys. I'm going to sue somebody. Probably not an effective means of discourse, but she says, ouch, I can't even think straight. Oh, do you have a dragon heart by chance? If you do, may I have one? Tried to look for a dragon heart, but unfortunately we don't have one. She goes, oh darn, so you don't have any, huh? That's okay, I'll just go out and buy one. Laters. Helga left the room, dragging her wounded leg. So yeah, the argument between the auction goers got so violent they ended up getting into a fight, and Helga got caught up in it and roughed up pretty bad. Turns out Helga was actually writing a book about about her experience with this Helga brand sword. It says, go for the Duhan Dream, auction, success story. Published recently, but it seems to have been read countless times. And this, of course, is Helga's diary. It's locked. Let's try to unlock it. Why not? Small matter for us, just a 4-button combination. So page 4 here is going over the disappointment of not being able to make a Cretus stone by throwing a fire spell to rock a bunch of times. Page 5 says, I turned in another quest. My last quest was accepted, and I believe my next one will be accepted by some kind person as well. He goes, a 25 or 26-year-old sorcerer would be nice, but a 31 or 32-year-old thief sounds kind of fun also. If a thief were to accept my quest, he may steal my heart. Kids. Helga's a little spacey at times, but overall a really nice kid. So that's going over us thinking that we're her partner, even though she constantly calls us partner. And yeah, we've got 5 new pages here. Start here. She goes, alright, I've completed making my first sword. The final test is to see if I can really sell this sword as merchandise. Now, how should I place this in the market? I already get the chills picturing myself as a millionaire. I'll need to think of a plan to market this Helga brand sword. I turned in a quest again. I think this is becoming a habit. Somebody always seems to accept my quests. And by somebody, she means we do. We accept them. What a wonderful thing it is to help each other. Sorcerers and thieves are good, but how about a 16 or 17-year-old warrior? Just thinking about an adolescent male makes my wow. She is just full of the feelings, isn't she? Moving to page 9, she goes, "It was just as I thought. I knew Agog would accept my quest. I just jokingly said, 'It's you, right?' to a random person. And what do you know? It was him. Because it seems there's a whole line of adventurers taking these." She goes, "Dang, I impress myself. True partners really do share the same fate." Page 10. "My dream has finally come true. The long-awaited Helga Mart. I'll be racking in some serious dough and become a millionaire." Page 11. "Damn, I won't forgive them. Helga Mart's grand opening auction was a mess because of those whack customers." Yet more proof that this game is going on 20 years old. Whack customers. I can't believe they would fight at my store. And because of that, the sword that I made was ruined. They used the sword in the fight. I can't sell the sword in that kind of condition. That really ruined my day. I'm depressed. Poor Helga. Make our way out. Got a few more slimes to deal with here, all in a row, so I think we'll go for a sweep attack for the sake of variety. Or maybe nothing because they're friendly. Now we are heading down to the 5th floor, if I remember correctly. And even if we weren't, that's where we're going now because it's my save file and that's what I do. Four orcs and a harpy. First encounter we ran into, and the current encounter we run into. No reason to dress this up. A rush is going to do 46 damage, and that's going to be more than enough to drop everything on the screen. So just about any finished encounter should get Sarah to the next level here. Got a giant toad and some slimes, and I don't think that the giant toad is going to fall to a 46-point rush, so assisted shot and individual attacks we go. Daniel takes out the toad. See the assisted shot doing more than enough damage to take out the slimes. Keo gets 1, and the back row, 3 impressive kills. And by impressive, not in the least, they were slimes. Sarah does indeed go over to the next level. And we pick up a frog tongue and some slimes goo. We're okay with that. Make a dash through this room, through the old altar, and down the steps to the 5th floor. Now I just have to remember, I think the room is above this shortcut. Let's go ahead and deal with this gaze hound. Throw an assisted shot out there. Throw a double slash out there and have Daniel attack just for the sake of attacking. Getting some solid damage on it at least. Really solid damage out of Keo and Ricardo, and that is a one-round battle for a Gaze Hound. No Death Strike, no Petrification, just pure damage. Getting stronger. Making our way through the back here. Looks like we've got a bit of a fancy chest here. This should be of the locked and trapped variety. Let's go ahead and have Rui check it out. A lock and a teleporter. Unlocked as usual, and let's see what's inside. We get a pair of daggers. One to Keo and one to Daniel. Both are actually going to Agog. And appraising we will go. I love how the box says Agog is being appraised, by the way. We get a craftsman's dagger. It's not magical, but it is decent. Sharp dagger forged by a famous craftsman. Let's see if this is a pair. Nope, just a dagger. Safe to say it's not beating the petrified dagger in any sense of the word, so once again, we're going to hand these over. This time it's going to Rui. Not the most exciting prize we've ever got out of these, but it is money. Money is just as good as cash. Again, just continuing to make our way up here. Got that breakaway wall there. Yeah, that takes us sort of topward. And then I go the wrong way and we run into a whole mess of spiders and a priestess. And when dealing with numbers of this type, I feel the best action is individual action. Have Keo feign a Cretus spell and attack the level 5 priestess. Let Daniel work some of his magical power. He'll throw a call down on that front row. Ricardo will attack for fun. Agog will throw Jacrita out. Rui with a Jatil. And Sarah will attack because I think that's more than enough damage to get through these spiders. Daniel starting off with the cold. We're going to see some icicles dropped from the sky and down onto some spiders. And that takes out the entire front row. So let's see what Rui's Jatil has to offer. Maybe we won't even get to Keo's attack. Yeah, we will. She takes out a couple spiders. Keo with a death strike on the priestess, which just leaves 4 huge spiders against Agog's Jacrita. I think we know how this one ends. Yep, 4 spiders belly up. No poison, no bad news. Just 4,000 wholesome experience and a reminder to me that I was actually heading upstairs. Looks like we're following a Gaze Hound, and we are going to catch up and at least encounter said Gaze Hound. It is not friendly. So a fighting we shall go. Once again, double slash, and if everything hits correctly, we should have ourselves a 1-round victory. Even quicker than I thought, as Daniel gets a death strike on his second attack. Pick up an unidentified gauntlet, which means it shall soon be an identified gauntlet. It's a Demon's Gauntlet. Ricardo's already got one of those. Let's see if anybody else can benefit from them. It looks like Keo gets a solid level up, gets a solid improvement out of that, as would Daniel. I think Daniel is by far and away in more of a need for it, so we'll go ahead and give it to Daniel. If we do come across another one, we'll be sure that Keo gets it. Looks like we've got a sizable encounter here. 8 ogres. They're friendly. We'll stay friendly too. Not that we couldn't handle them, that's just a whole lot of Beth to get through. Here's a humanoid shape. And it's the old frame rate killer. Oh, we've got ourselves 8 ninja to deal with. How do we want to go about this? Feel an end lash with Daniel and Ricardo is in order. Feel a restrict shot with Rui and Sarah is in order, protecting Daniel and Ricardo. Feel like Keo is going to cast Spleam on the front row. And Agog is not going to mess around at all on this one. And once again, just going to pop out a Jakrita. Let's get that end lash taken care of first, soften some of these guys up. No kills out of the way, but those end ninjas on both the front and back row take a hefty bit of damage. Now it's time to see what we're going to get out of a Spleam spell here at a lovely 28 frames per second. Looks like the spell was mostly effective. 3 out of 4. That isn't terrible. We will take that. One, of course, did resist. And now we're up to Agog's Jakrita. I don't see the sleeping ninjas surviving, especially not as 2 of them were edge ninjas on that front line there. Really, I'd be happy if none of the ninjas survived this. That's kind of the goal. And that looks like the end result. 8 ninjas down. We got a critical in there as well. So you'll notice I actually had the frame rate doubled there to stay at 28. 8 ninjas, everybody. The death of progress. But it was a successful encounter on our end. I guess that's all we could really ask for. Continuing to walk our way back here. And we back into some spiders. Hopefully not. Yeah, they've hit us from behind. This has not boded well for us in the past. Got some poison breath going here. Looks like Sarah's poisoned. If that's the only one we take, we do have one antidote, I believe. Now the rest of the spiders just jumping in. Here comes the spider web. That catches no one. More poison breath. Fingers crossed. Nope, Rui's poisoned as well. One more spider web. Does not look effective. One more time and to no avail. Taking our point of damage there. Allied action. Let's go with an assisted spell. Oh, assisted spell only works with the back row. Well, that's unfortunate because we really need that spell to come from the front row. So Agog will go Zakrita. Rui will go Called. Sarah will just attack. And the back row will defend. Getting attacked from behind, flipping that formation, really changes your dynamic, and no matter how well equipped you were, that's when you know if you've built your casters right or not. We get through the combat. And really, that was my silly fault. I was the one who got excited. I knew there was a monster in the room, but I sort of went for the breakaway wall. Go ahead, set our formation back up. One antidote. We'll go ahead and use that on Sarah because keeping our cleric healthy is paramount. Speaking of, go ahead, cast a Fields for the front row and a Fields for the back. Stopped short there. That was not smart of me. Broke it open. Also noticed a treasure chest here. Let's go ahead and open that up. If this is an antidote, I will chuckle softly. It is not. It is a transfer potion. Now, before we do any more exploring, I think the wise call is to run ourselves up to the very top of this floor. Looks like we're not going to get there without having to deal with at least an earth giant, but we know how we handle earth giants here. Stun attack from Daniel and Rui, and a double slash from Keo and Ricardo. Backup damage from Agog and Sarah, not that it'll really matter. They'll do a point of damage each, maybe 2 at the most. Daniel hits with that stun attack, only does 1 damage, but it does open up for double damage on the double slash. Well over 100 points done there. Looks like the giant snaps out of it, so we will set up the exact same plan of attack for round 2. Should be lethal damage by the time we're through. Or by the time Daniel decides that his stun attack is now a death strike. Picking up a giant's tooth. If you remember, Casta's shop is way up at the top of this 5th floor here. And that's going to have the antidote we need for Rui. Made our way back up. And because it's just not Wizardry until you have to deal with 1 more combat, we get 4 gargoyles and 2 ninja. Hit that end lash to soften things up. Yeah, let's go for an assisted spell. Why not? Rui and Sarah. Let's have Rui cast the spell. And let's make it a Jakrita. Have Keo attack a ninja. And have Agog cast Strain on the gargoyles. I don't think you could really put gargoyles to sleep, so we'll throw our assisted Jakrita out and see how this goes. Given a superpowered case of the hot foot, well, the ninjas are gone. Unlash just hitting the gargoyles, and the right side one, after taking Keo's individual attack, ends up falling. Now let's see if this strain spell does anything. Two of the gargoyles have a barrier. They're going to get through, do some damage. First one does a point to Daniel. Looks like they're both targeting Daniel here. And the second one does 2 damage, so 3 damage overall to Daniel and a point from the poison to Rui. Let's go ahead and set up a sweep attack. And an assisted shot, and have Rui just attack for the sake of attacking. Kind of curious to see what a sweep attack will actually do here. Did 52 damage to the one that's sort of held in place. Rui ends up taking that gargoyle out. And the 2 remaining gargoyles will try a double slash on Daniel. They did 2 more damage to him. There's another point to Rui. Double slash with Daniel and Ricardo against the right side gargoyle. And have Kyo lined up solo on the left side gargoyle. As I had expected, that's enough damage to drop the left side gargoyle, and the right side probably will not survive this double slash. Bit of a lengthy combat there, especially for only 2300. Wow, remember when 2300 would instantly pop levels for us? Picked up yet another dagger. Right now our concern is getting into this shop though, so we will go ahead and do that. Stop by, talk to the good sales ogre. We're not going to buy a bunch of stuff, but we are going to buy some stuff. Let's go ahead and buy, I'm going to say 4 antidotes. That way we have 3 in reserve. Use that on Rui. Hand this unidentified dagger over to Agog and appraise thus. It's another craftsman's dagger. We'll hand that over to Rui as well. Speaking of Agog, let's go ahead and have him cast a feel spell on Daniel and a feel spell on Rui. Get everyone in tip-top shape, and now that we've finally recovered from all of the nonsense we've had to deal with, let's go back down and find that spring of water, huh? Seems like we couldn't avoid that room a little while back. Well, this is an interesting grouping. 4 minor daimyo. How do we want to go about this? Let's do an end lash. Let's do a spell cancel. I'm far more worried about these guys casting. And let's throw Zakrit out against the back rows. I think Kyo's going to definitely take out one of the daimyo with his attack on the front row. No. No, Kyo doesn't. No kill spell, no petrification, and not enough damage. Also, not enough damage from the spell. Do get a healthy 64 damage out of the spell cancel. Unfortunately, it's only going to hit once, which means we're in for a little bit of pain here. Ricardo takes 10 off of a Krita. There's 12 more. Here comes what's most likely a third Krita. That one hits a Gog for 12. Go ahead, set up our double, our End Lash again. Spell cancel. Have Keo hit the right side one this time. And we'll throw Zakrita. Yeah, we'll throw it at the back row again. That should pretty well do it for the back row. Keo knocks the first Daimyo down. Gives me faith that we are not far off on the back row there. And yet they live through yet another spell. Spell cancel does finish off a second one. Time to take a couple more spells worth of damage. Agog taking another 12 damage. And the other minor Daimyo just sort of stands there. One more End Lash. This time they'll both hit each target. And we'll just go for base attacks there. 61 damage to each is going to drop our left side of minor Daimyo and finally finish that combat. Gives us a chest as well with some chainmail. One thing that's nice about this game is it's not going to let you waste spells. Kind of just pressing the button mindlessly, and Keo was at full health, so it wouldn't let me try and heal him further. Pretty sure I went the wrong way anyway, as I'm terrible at navigation. So back out we go. Past two very humanoid-looking shadows. Thankful we did not have to deal with them at the present. Do have one coming out of this room here, and it's our friends the minor Daimyos again. Safe to say, we're not going to deal with them in the way we just did. In fact, how are we going to deal with these guys? Oh, first things first. We're going to go for a double slash instead of the End Lash. Just have Daniel and Ricardo focus on that minor Daimyo. We are going to go for a spell cancel. Have Sarah and Rui go for that. Keo will attack this minor Daimyo, and Agog is going to try a Spleam spell on the back row. If we can put them to sleep, we could at least buy ourselves some time. Yeah, Ricardo with that flail, just way too much damage when focused on a single target. That's probably our best call here. Looks like we got one of the samurai. Two of the samurai are asleep. Spleam spell works to design. Ricardo deftly dodges some swordplay there. Individual action. Have Keo sneak back on a sleeping Daimyo. And we'll have the back row defend. They'll take a round off so we don't wake that other sleeping samurai. Keo with the first hit death strike. Daniel and Ricardo combine for lethal damage despite Ricardo missing his second attack. Now we can go for an assisted shot and a double slash between Keo and Ricardo and have Daniel attack just for the fun of attacking. got a paralyzing attack out of Daniel there, which led to double damage on the assist shot and the kill before the double slash. Kind of happy with that result, aren't we? Can't really be sad by it. Make our way down here. Now I'm all kinds of lost. Seems so much easier to navigate this area when there wasn't so much of this area to navigate, doesn't it? Gonna go for our end lash again. Restrict shot. And we'll try a strain spell on those gargoyles. That worked really well last time out. Kyo 0 for 2 against his rival ninja. Got a couple gargoyles stopped by the strain spell and a couple with a barrier. Both of the active gargoyles target Daniel, though, so they are stopped in their tracks by a restrict shot. Point of damage to Ricardo, and an outright miss on Daniel. Feel the end lash will take care of that. I feel like this cold spell from Agog may be counterproductive, but we'll give it a shot. We'll see what we can get out of it. Kyo takes out a gargoyle. Let's see if Agog can at least take out the two that have been battered by the end lashes the last couple rounds. Not looking like it. Flat out barrier. And now we have to deal with two active gargoyles doing a double slash on Daniel. Looks like they did 2 damage overall. Switch things up, go for a double slash. You know what, we are going to go for a double slash, but we're going to go for that middle one. Go for an assisted shot. And have Kyo attack that one for double damage. That should be more than enough to take it out. Heck, the assisted shot was more than enough to take it out, and Kyo takes out the other end gargoyle. Don't really see this one surviving the double slash, but we'll take a look. Nope, more than enough damage. We are clear there. Remember when I said I was finishing up quests here? Not looking promising on this stream. Got rather distracted all of a sudden. Also have a couple items to appraise. Kind of forgot about the chainmail. And we pick up yet another dagger. So back to the appraising station we go, and Agog is being appraised. Chainmail turns out to be blessed chainmail. And the dagger is just another craftsman's dagger. That will hand over to Rui, who's the International House of Dagger at the moment. Blessed chain, 4 and 8. Ricardo's already got some on. Daniel's got Faith Armor at 6 and 8. Kyo's got Freeze Chainmail at 5 and 10. So maybe something for the back row here? Nope. Just kind of armor that we've got. So we know there is a room with a spring, and we know I am terrible at finding it. One thing I'm not terrible at finding is a whole host of the undead to fight. We get a surprise attack, that's never bad news. Let's go ahead and let an assisted shot finish off everything it can, and go individual actions, making sure the first thing we fight is that level 5 priestess. I guess it's not, since Kyo's not the first combatant. Daniel does his absolute best against a zombie. We'll see if we can mop that up by the end here. Yep, that we can. Sorceress taken out by an assist shot, and the front row of zombies completely taken down as well. So no need for us to try anything fancy here. Just straight damage is going to carry the day. Took 2 assist shots, but we do get through. Kyo makes up for it by mopping up a zombie all on his own. And an assist shot takes out the third before Ricardo can attack. Do want to get this quest done in time. Get a priest's hair and a flail. Now, one thing's for certain. This adventure is going to pay. It's going to pay well. It's a power flail. Not a very accurate weapon, but every time it does hit, it deals that much more damage. Go ahead, let them pass. More gargoyles and ninjas. Let's go with an assisted spell. Rui casting. Make that a Jacrita. Offensively, we'll go with a double slash with Daniel and Ricardo. Kyo will attack a gargoyle and hope for a death strike, and Agog will go for another strain spell. It hasn't been a bad call thus far. Big damage to the ninja. Kyo does take down a gargoyle, though purely on damage alone. Daniel and Ricardo take out another with that double slash. Let's see what Agog gets with the strain. One resists and the other has a barrier, so that was our first truly ineffective strain spell. Daniel takes 2 damage from one gargoyle, and a 3rd damage from the following. Assisted shot, double slash, and have Kyo attack the edge gargoyle. That should be more than enough. Yep, Kyo takes out the first. Second, I think, is the one that resisted the spell outright. Not gonna resist that. Daniel getting pretty close to a level up here. Happy to see that. Picking up a broken sword. Something we normally only pick up off of orcs, so I'm guessing the gargoyles are strangely in the same monster vein. This is a dead-end corridor, I believe. Could be wrong. I'm wrong. Okay. That takes us back up to here. Okay, and that's where our shortcut was in the first place. Oh no, that's way up. Okay. So that was Casta's shop. And we're just going to work down every platform from here until we find that room. What I should have done the first time. This is just going to bend us around the old corner here. Get a crossbow bolt, and this is where we fought that lesser demon. That pixie who was tricking people into giving them their magic stones. See, there is a skeleton on the ground there. Yet another earth giant to deal with. See if we can't get lucky here on a death strike. Didn't on the stun attack, but the stun attack did hit, so we're at least going to get double damage. And that is, in fact, all we get. Giant wakes up, so second verse same as the first. One more point for the Paralyze a Giant Fund, and this double slash should be lethal. And is. Didn't really need to see the animation for that. That much damage is going to drop an Earth Giant. I'm going to do something I've sort of resisted because I'm stubborn and kind of dumb. I'm going to cast the Map spell. Actually, it turns out I may have been better at not casting the Map spell because, man, was that useless. It's going to tell us by layer, and this is one giant spiral, so. I feel it was on this top half, wasn't it? Well, at the very least, it's 8 o'clock. I'm going to wrap things up. We're at about the hour mark. Kind of an unsuccessful run for us, but back to town we go. We at least built some trust, got some combat taken care of, and picked up a new quest. So nothing accomplished here. Perhaps we will be more successful tomorrow on our weekly upload. Hopefully you've been enjoying these. I've been enjoying the heck out of replaying this game after all this time. It's probably been a good 10 years since I've sat down and played this game in any meaningful way. So it's been fun to get back and refreshed, and it's been a pretty engaging story. I honestly forgot how dark this game was. And again, thank you for checking this out, and we will see you around.